everyone. Welcome back and welcome to our final episode of CaCo Talks for 2022. Tonight, as we round out the year, we are discussing some icks we had for all of 2022. Let's chat. Hi, everyone. Welcome to our final episode of 2022. We're excited that we made it through almost a full year, season 1 of this podcast. More importantly, we're just glad we made it through another year of life. Am I right?
Definitely. It's been an interesting year.
For sure. So tonight, as you can tell by the title, we are discussing several icks that we've had throughout the year. This was Caitlin's idea, that we don't just discuss resolutions and I guess do a highlight reel, but discuss some things that we want to definitely, that we just had a icky feeling about and that we want to definitely leave in 2022 as we look forward to 2023.
Got some icks and some sticks. So sticks are what we're bringing into 2023 and icks is what we're getting rid of.
Yes, absolutely. So, so what's your first ick of 2022?
How people really thought COVID was over and people stopped wearing masks. I still wear my mask.
I'm one of those people.
That is truly disturbing. Only because I didn't have my mask on me. But for the first time, I went into a store without a mask.
Recently?
Yeah, 2 days ago.
That's wow. I've been mask free for the last year.
See, COVID is not over.
I know, but I got 3 shots. I'm boosted up, bro. I'm boosted.
I got 4 shots. But I guess I work in healthcare, so.
That's true. I mean, that's a serious ick. I think that's a good ick to have if you're going to have an ick.
Yeah.
Because I definitely think this was the year people were like, well, screw it. The pandemic may or may not be done, but I'm done with it. So
honestly, people were just like, "Oh, well, I'm over it, so it's over." No, that's not how that works. But okay,
it's definitely not. But I mean, I'm going to be honest. The government messages have significantly dropped this year. So,
oh yeah. I mean, the government is not taking your health into consideration. You know what I mean? You have to take your own health into consideration.
I think they stopped fighting organizations.
I guess.
I mean, companies were like,
I know, but that's my first ick. You got to make better choices.
I agree. I mean, COVID is pretty much endemic at this point, I would imagine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's going to turn into the flu.
Well, it's a pandemic because it's worldwide, but.
Well, I mean, endemic, it's going to be a constant problem that's never going to go away. It's just going to, it's going to be like the flu.
So it's a yearly thing.
It's
probably.
Yeah, it's I think that's what endemic means. It means that the cases drop, but it is still year to year concern. It's just a new disease that's going to affect us.
Endemic is specific to a certain area.
Is it?
Yeah, it's just a regular occurring disease within a certain area or community.
Okay, well, sorry, excuse me, I didn't know that.
All of those terms are specific to geography, typically.
Well, what's an endemic for the whole world?
An endemic for the globe is a pandemic. Pandemic is global.
So it's just always gonna be. It's just a ongoing pandemic.
Yeah, pretty much. Kind of like the flu. The flu is. Well, it also has to affect a certain level of a population too. So, but it's usually specific to maybe a subculture or a community or an area. I don't know, I can't think of anything that's specific to just one area. Most of it travels, especially viral stuff or respiratory things. Those typically travel.
Yeah.
But I think also too that our travel and stuff is so intertwined because you can pretty much travel anywhere now. that it's kind of hard for it to just be an endemic, just because things are constantly moving. Well, like the H1N1, that was like an endemic to Mexico and I guess North America.
Yeah. I would imagine pandemics back in the day were more, you know, like where you couldn't travel to different places as much. Everything was kind of endemic. So I would imagine back in the day, obviously, probably pandemics didn't really happen as much because there wasn't as much travel. You know what I mean? But yeah. So my next ick is definitely gas prices, which I think is as a result of the pandemic. To be perfectly honest, pandemic plus obviously the Ukraine Russia crisis war situation. Huge major ick, enormous ick, actually. Really like gut punching kind of ick. So yeah,
I agree with that. The gas prices were ridiculous, which I guess I didn't feel them to the extent that you felt them because you're, in a heavily populated, concentrated, expensive area. But yeah, no, gas prices is for me were ridiculous. Like they should have never been that high. And the thing is, like, because I think Russia may be a source of oil, but it wasn't coming directly from Russia. I don't think. I'm not well versed in
it's definitely
oil.
price gouging. It's like companies trying to keep their price margins high, despite the fact that like obviously there's a crisis going on.
Yeah,
and their like supply chain, somewhere during their supply chains is being disrupted by that war.
Yeah, yes.
That's what I read, at least. That it's
I
really
also think
not like the
the
war
media is
itself. It's like
you just don't know whether or not the media is actually hitting you with the facts or are they really flexing.
That's true. You're right. Yeah. Well, I don't know. Regardless, it was entirely too high. The first couple of weeks of this year were like fine, but then it just crept up, and then like obviously, like you said, where I'm at now, gas prices are always $1 or so higher, just in general. And yeah, so it really hurt. It was like extra. What used to be like $28 to fill up is like now 40, 45. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's nothing now. I like go to the gas station and my car is pretty fuel efficient, but I see like $60 to $80 regularly on the pump before me. You can see the prices before me, and I was like, that is ridiculous. Like people are paying like what is essentially a small bill just to fill up their car one time.
Yeah, no, that's no. I used to see like $100, which I live in kind of like a bordering the more expensive areas of where I live. But easily you would see $100 all the time
at the gas pump. It's wild. It's kind of wild. So that's a big ick. And that's an ick I'm really hoping. It's sort of like bottomed out a little bit, or declined. I'm not going to say bottomed out. Declined a little bit now, but no.
Which I wonder, like in the summer, it's going to go back up.
I don't know. It was like overnight, as soon as the Russia-Ukraine war hit, gas prices went up.
Yeah, it really was like clockwork.
Yeah. So it was quite the adjustment. We'll say that. But yeah, what's your next ick for 2022?
My next ick is going to be these jobs. They really doing the most. Really, well, I would say not the job I currently have, but the job before that.
Oh, that's right. I forgot you had that job.
So they were truly bugging. That's what I'm going to say. Because it's like the amount of work and I guess you could say responsibility that they were trying to make me take on and the future people take on is absurd for what they were paying and what they were offering.
Yeah.
So, I am personally a fan of finding a job that fits what you are looking for. And if that means, job hopping till you get there or however you get there, just get there. So I didn't stay at that job long. And I wouldn't promote anybody else staying at a job that is not fitting for them to stay long either. So yeah, these jobs are really out of control with what they're requiring of people, but what they're offering people. Because what I was making was truly not livable. So
Agreed. Yeah, we both let go of jobs this year that
yeah.
were like just problematic.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And have since found alternate forms of employment, making money that I think we're relatively peaceful in what we do now at the moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. I've been, for the most part, I enjoy there's like some little things I'm like, okay. But for the most part, overall, I do enjoy my job.
Yeah. And I'm enjoying honestly dipping into the freelance world. Like under trying to learn more about that. And also was obviously continuing to make artwork and continue to find ways to monetize that, to be honest with you, and to expand our career.
Feel that.
Really. And that's what I plan on doing for 2023. That's my big goal is just continue making filmmaking a career. Keep taking those steps.
Got to.
Yeah. So it's my turn for an ick.
Yep.
Let's see. I'm trying to think of what's an ick that's specific to this year. This is an overall ick, and this could be just because of my TikTok algorithm, but I find it very icky that the manosphere, basically incels on the internet, the dudes on the internet who just degrade women for no reason. So that really gets me, and that could be my TikTok algorithm, but it's it seems like they have reared their ugly head 10 times stronger this year. It could be TikTok, but it's where are these people coming from?
I don't think so. I think they've always
Maybe they've
been.
always been like that. I just see it more
Yeah, I was
now.
gonna
I
say, I
don't
feel like
know.
they've always been like that, and I just think they now that the platform, they finally have a
It's the
platform.
yeah, it's the podcast dudes. It's them, and then it's certain people I've spoken to personally in life, at jobs and stuff. I'm this culture is serious for this is they eat and sleep and breathe misogyny. A lot of them, And I didn't realize how big
Yeah.
it was, but it really is. It's baked into a lot of their ideologies, and I'm it's so icky because I'm you're your own problem. You know what I mean? You are not only socially the problem, but personally, you're a problem for yourself too. So I don't know. It's just icky.
I can see that. I do think TikTok really has given them the platform, and they really run out. But
Yeah, it's stuff that I feel at least they kept quiet on and only said amongst themselves and laughed at amongst themselves. Is now they just put it on public platforms and it's nasty. It's
that's fair.
And it's but the sad thing is it's encouraging younger boys and masculine, I guess, identifying people to think that same way, and it's that's dangerous.
Yeah, I can see that.
But yeah, I feel this year is the year I really paid attention to it. Again, TikTok algorithm probably brought me to that, but yeah. So what's your next ick?
Another ick. Um, mm, I'm gonna say this. This whole Megan Thee Stallion and Tory Lanez, like, not.
Yeah.
I hate to say that I don't care, but at the same time, like, this is really giving first world problem.
Yeah.
I understand like the concept of like domestic abuse, but it stemmed from you being promiscuous. Not saying that that's warranted, but like, babes, also knew who you're messing with. Ugh, like, this
I
could have been
agree.
so prevented.
I
Like,
agree.
why would you hook your friend up with this person to then sleep with them? Like, oh my god. Apparently, this is like, I guess this has happened apparently, allegedly, between several people that Kelsey has talked to, or like Megan has hooked her up with, or something like that. So this is like nothing new. Like, Megan's true to this, not new to this, you know.
Like
But
continuing to hook her friends up with bad people.
people she's hooked up with know that she's hooked up with.
Meg.
Yeah,
Yeah. I think Megan should have.
that's messy.
I think it's
So I'm saying
messy.
that's so preventable.
Yeah, that's so messy. And I think, to be honest, like, first off, why are you sleeping with people in the industry? That's number one. So
Honestly, like, that's a
that
red
needed to, like,
flag.
that's a big red flag.
That's
You
a
don't
red
need to be sleeping with
flag.
anybody in the industry. I don't care
Honestly,
who you
honestly,
are.
and like, I mean, I feel like Tory Lane already had a bad rap, like, as
Yeah,
an
he had a bad
individual.
rap, and you're trying to hook
So
your
like,
friend up with
why
him. I'm
like
like,
even
it's like
bothering?
sometimes I think, okay, Megan is really good and grown, and the other times I'm like, Meg, you're doing some real high school type stuff. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Mm,
And I'm like, and then that makes me like, so many kids follow her and watch her. And I'm not saying she's responsible for kids, and obviously her music is salacious. But I'm just like, the girls back in the day, like, knew how to keep some stuff under wrap. You don't ever hear about Beyonce's private life. Never, not once.
honestly,
And if you do hear about it, it's very innuendo based, very nuanced, and it's very much in an album where she stands to profit. Like, Megan, this is messy, and I hope she learns from this. And it's just like, you gotta like put your big girl pants on now, and you can't be doing this petty stuff. She's got too much to lose behind this. I'm sorry, like, she really has to.
yeah,
Some
yeah.
of that's like some, I hate to say it, like, kind of projectic stuff, to be
Yeah,
honest with you.
it's
And
definitely
like,
giving ghetto.
you're in multi-million-dollar mansions in the Hollywood
Babes,
Hills.
I'm telling you, ain't
Babes.
over here hanging out with the Kardashians, and this what you decide to do, babes. You have
Exactly.
got to pick better choices.
Exactly. Notice, like, the Kardashians got out of there as quickly as humanly possible. They're not implied in any of this. So, I don't know. Like, Meg, you can, like, this is a situation you can absolutely do better. You very much can, and you should. So,
Didn't she have a whole boyfriend the whole time?
yeah. Oh, I don't know if it was the whole time, but I know she does have a boyfriend now.
Man, I don't know. That's just giving suspect to me. So
Yeah. I don't know. Meg is, like I said, I think when she, speaks and shares kind of her view on life, I don't think she's like horrible. And I rock with kind of what she has to say. I mean, you know, but I just think some of the stuff she's doing does come off kind of childish, you know.
yeah, it definitely
So,
gives hood rat a little bit, but
yeah.
you know,
I hate to compare her to Beyonce because Beyonce is different, but like, Beyonce was definitely out there giving sex appeal, giving, sensual, giving baddie times 10, like, hot girl, it girl, which is what Megan gives too, I think. A little more raunchy, I guess. But Beyonce was not going to be caught up in a freaking love tryst. And, like, there was just some class and decorum. I'm like, what happened? I don't
yeah,
know.
and I think that's the difference though, because like Megan is like Beyonce sells the appeal, right?
Mm-hmm.
Megan is also selling the appeal, the fantasy, the action, The
Yeah, she's a little
ignorance.
more. Megan's more raw. I get it.
Yeah, which I think that's desirable in certain places, but not everybody wants that. You know, like it's kind of like when you take the girl out the hood, but you can't take the hood out the girl. It's like one of those.
Yeah. Well, I guess Beyonce never really came from the hood, so it's different for her. But Beyonce is very much from the suburbs. So
And
yeah, I
Beyonce
don't
doesn't
know.
tell us her business, which that's key.
I agree. She didn't. She don't. Yeah. Okay.
Megan should honestly take notes. So
Yeah. I think I hate to say this, and we've seen it with Cardi B too. It's like women, like black female rappers, are obviously ahead of the game right now. Like they're the big thing right now. But I feel like, to be honest, it's like it's almost this caricature of black women because they kind of have the most famous black women rapping right now are women who pretty much come from the hood, right? Which is already this like caricature that like mainstream white America already has about black women, right? So I think when you look at Cardi B and Meg Thee Stallion, it's kind of like, are they famous because of their genuine raw, I guess, ingenuity and talent, or is it also because they are also
yeah,
who people expect to be a black woman, right? Like that's what white America thinks black women are
yeah, they
fully.
expect you to be. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's very
which is
true.
obviously they are very rare. That is a very rare. Black women come in all kinds of shapes, sizes, backgrounds. Well, not a monolith at
Yeah,
all, but
yeah. Well, and the thing is, they're giving it to them. Like
they
definitely
are
just handing it to them. Ugh.
110%. So that's why, I hate to say it, but in some way, I'm not blaming Meg Thee Stallion, but like in a lot of ways, the people we approach in everyday life, they they try to speak this like jive speak, right? Like as if they're talking to a Meg Thee Stallion, and it's like we're from the suburbs. You know what I mean? Like, so they kind of approach you as if you are all black women, as if they are Meg Thee Stallion or they're Cardi B, and it's like not most black women are not that. You know what I mean?
Mm, yeah, I guess. But I guess as a white person, you think all black people are ghetto and obnoxious.
Yeah. I don't know.
All right, what's your ick?
Okay. So my next ick is the Will Smith Chris Rock thing. I like had some time to that happened earlier this year in February at the Oscars.
Really? Was
And
it February?
it was at the Oscars, so it should have been, or it was like March.
Hmm.
It was earlier this year. Um, but they happened. Remember when that happened? It was like a big uproar, and now I feel like everybody's forgotten about it. Like it was such a big deal, I guess, to people. It was like very small, but a big deal. Really, my ick was the news cycle. Not so like however you feel about him doing that or whatever. I have some icks about that, but that's another episode. We already talked about that actually. My ick was like the news cycle, or really the white community, kind of looking at this as like, oh my god, I can't believe he would do that, or like this kind of like shock and disgust, and like he should be, whatever, and I just feel like that icked me out. The white
I feel like,
community's response to the
yeah,
Will Smith situation is what icked me out because I feel like it definitely had these racist undertones to it.
for sure. Yeah, I agree. And I think culturally they don't understand how things work. Not saying that we're excusing the violence, because okay, cool. I
Mm-hmm.
understand there's consequences to obviously his actions. But
Mm-hmm.
culturally, if they understood culture, it isn't quite as big as a deal as they made it.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's quite normal for your cousins to just go out back, handle something real quick, and
Yeah.
come back and move forward. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I
So
think that, but then also their readiness to like demonize him, like really, it just shows like you're really never, no matter how much you appeal to them, you are never really safe in their presence.
yeah,
To
yeah,
be
yeah.
honest.
On top of like nobody was really coming at him for being um for the comment he made, even, you know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
we don't know, which I understand he's a comedian, but like, you don't know people's triggers, soft spots, what is going on with Jada or whatever it was, you know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
you have to be sensitive to that. But nobody was coming at Chris for like his out of pocket comment. It was
That's
only
true.
because, Will, put his hands on him, which, okay, I understand that. But at the same time, like, they both were very wrong, period. So they both need to be reprimanded. There's certain,
Yeah.
which, from my understanding, they had a conversation about that being off limits, and he still did it anyway. So, like, I'm confused
Right. So
on
they,
why
they
he
did. It
wasn't.
was confirmed they had a conversation beforehand
I don't
and
know
they
if it was
see each other.
confirmed, but I think I saw something. I don't know if it's true or not. So allegedly, they had a conversation where he like kind of asked about the joke, I guess, because they were friends. So
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Yeah,
it just
definitely.
seems distasteful all around.
I agree. It was how that was covered in the media and how it was handled. I think is a little icky to me. That's what I think.
Yeah, I think so. I think it was just. I mean, even on Chris Rock's part, very distasteful.
Yeah. All right, you got another ick?
Um, let's see. Um, I think the prices of everything like going up, like inflation and whatnot, disgusting. Literally disgusting. Because it's like, I mean, as if it wasn't already hard out here, and like wages are definitely not keeping up with the cost of things. So it's just
Mm,
like unnecessary. Like, go to the grocery store. My budget used to be at the beginning of the year. My budget was like $150 for 2 weeks, so $300 for a month. If
mm.
I go to the grocery store and go someplace and get quality groceries, I'm spending no less than 200, and it's for nothing, nothing. So
Yep.
inflation is really not killing me, because I mean, luckily I do have like a better job than what I started the year with, but it's just like, come on, bro, give me a break. Give me a break. And the thing is, a lot of these things are rooted out of greed, right? So the reason why you're having a recession is because you're now getting greedy and you're pricing people out of things. So, people are not putting money back into the economy because it's just too freaking expensive, which is how you end up with a recession. But, capitalism doesn't care, I guess. So
Yeah,
that's my ick.
I hear that. That's very true. Cost of living is going up significantly. We all know it is. We see it at the grocery store. I saw a carton of eggs that was like $7 the other day. Yep, $7 for like a carton of eggs.
Yeah, ridiculous.
Yeah. And I think
Ridiculous.
it was 18 eggs and it was like $7 and I was like this is wild. At
Uh-huh.
Walmart, the cheap place.
That's no. See, I don't even buy eggs.
Yeah. I like to eat eggs in the morning with my breakfast, but
Mm-mm. We're gonna
I had
get
to
you some
slow
vegan
down a little
eggs.
bit
They're
on the
$5.
I can't do all the vegan stuff.
Well, the vegan eggs are not bad, honestly. I can't eat, but
Yeah.
most of that other stuff, nah, I'm messing with it.
Yeah.
They also have this really good. I will say this brand is called So Delicious. They have a lot of like coconut milk based things or like cashew milk based things. Their coconut
Mhm.
milk vanilla yogurt is really good.
Hmm. I'll have to check it
Mm-hmm.
out.
It's actually really good, and they put a little granola in there. So great. I eat that as like a dessert, honestly. It's it's like regular yogurt, I would say. It just doesn't have that extra like tang that normal yogurt would have from like curdling, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it's really good. I think it's really good. And I don't like vegan stuffs for the most part. So, all right, what's my next ick? Oh no, it's your turn, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, it's your turn.
No, it's my turn, right?
Okay, yeah, I think so because I said the prices, inflation.
Okay, I was gonna say my ick is the anti-abortion Supreme Court decision.
Yeah,
Major ick,
bananas.
giant, huge red flag ick, which ties back into kind of what I was saying earlier, like that whole manosphere rearing its ugly head.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think that's another reason why it felt so, I don't know, like especially icky this year. Like, yes, okay, everybody knows I'm a feminist. Always have issues with the patriarchy in men, but this one, I think, because of the abortion ban, and then with them just like some of them felt like emboldened by that. I feel like as well, um, and just continuing to be like nasty to women on the internet.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, that's a major ick because it's just like just ripping away humans' reproductive rights. Really, just what
I'm
my
gonna say
opinion is
women's.
basic. Yeah, women's rights to essentially their own bodily autonomy.
Yeah. And then
Uh,
also not to require, if that's the case, like nothing, no one else's life or bodies on the line at that. It
mm-hmm,
was just odd to me.
exactly. Yeah, major ick. Major.
Yeah, 100. I agree with that. That was mind blowing.
And really not considering
The
just
medical
not considering
repercussions.
the medical of like the fallout of that, I think. You know what I mean? Like women, now or young girls oftentimes having to have children born out of incest and rape, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or having to have back, woodsy type procedures to
Yeah.
get rid of babies
Or
or
even travel far
or
distances.
travel far distances. It's like this whole idea. It's just like this conservative pushback, in my
Mm-hmm.
opinion, um, to in some ways try to like I don't know maintain, I guess, or like make people have babies and like enforce babies. I
Yeah.
guess I don't know when really it's really impacting women of color most often or disadvantaged women most often as most laws end up doing. Um, yeah, so that's been major huge
That's a
ick.
really big one. Mm-hmm. All right, so we're going to switch over to, if you have some more icks, go ahead and say it too, but like also include some sticks. So like, what are we including
Yeah.
in 2023? I have to say a stick
Um,
for me is going to be just like prioritizing like self-care, peace, sanity, all those grand things because it really was a benefit this year. Um, which granted I did move away from like um, relatives, if you will, and significant other relatives. So there was like way less drama, that I knew about, you could even say, because it really wasn't like in it. It was more just like constantly hearing it and being around it. Um, so like I was able to value my peace on a bigger level, which I would not trade for the world, truly. So,
yeah, I hear
so
that.
yeah, that's a stick.
Repeat that stick, please.
I would valuing my peace.
Oh yeah. Oh heck
Valuing
yes.
my peace, and with moving to a new area, I was able to value it on a different level because I didn't have all of these other people or like distractions, if you will, or like family nearby or anything. Like I'm just removed from it all, really. So highly appreciate that. Highly appreciate that, and we'll be definitely doing that in 2023.
I hear that. Definitely peace. I mean, I totally agree with that. You know that like the hecticness I went through the very first part of this year,
Yeah, that was trash.
tippy
It was
top of this
garbage.
year. So I learned to appreciate peace wherever you can find it, and amen for having the second half of this year be completely, totally different.
Uh-huh.
um, so yes, peace is very important, and I think that situation made me learn to prioritize peace in whatever situations I'm in. I thought I had was doing that before, but I think it's like cemented now that
Yeah.
that needs that's really a boundary and a like non-negotiable at this point for me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
So yeah, I agree with
Same.
you. Peace, prioritizing peace. It's gotta at some point in your life you just gotta be like this. That's a non-negotiable for me. It's not a
Uh-huh.
well take this or try that or like no. There's really no
I've
questions
learned
asked
too
about
that
it.
like if you do not first value it to the utmost, like nobody else will. So it's
Agreed.
important for you to come to that understanding first,
Hmm.
so that then everybody else can kind of like fall in line, if you will.
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay, so one of my sticks, I think peace is also another stick for me, but I'm not gonna name that as my like definitive
Copycat.
stick. But that was a major lesson I learned. Um and but I think another stick for me is like letting go of things that are beyond your control.
Uh-huh.
And redefining seriously what is going to work for you in your life. That
Yeah.
sounds like something I had always kind of done, but it's something I'm always in different ways having to come to. Like I really was putting a lot of pressure on myself to do certain things or have my life look like I guess a certain way at the top of this year. And I really fought that. And then when it all came, fought for it. But then when all came, just kind of like it's kind of like meat falling off a bone. It all just kind of like fell apart in some ways, like very tenderly. Well, I don't know if it was tenderly, but like rapidly, and or what I thought I should be doing, and then when it became to just the day to day task of taking care of myself, my life, everything I needed, I realized that didn't have to look like what I thought it should look like, and that I'm okay existing in an alternate space. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
So letting go was really important and really like taking things day by day and then cutting, really doing what works best for me in my life, like committing to that.
Okay, that's a
So
good one.
that's a stick I definitely want to continue for the rest of my life, really, but certainly going into 2023.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Got it. Okay. This is kind of like a stick and an ick, right? So it's a little bit of both. So
Mm-hmm.
the stick part of it is just be mindful of the people in the company that you keep. And this is not specific to me. This is just what I kind of saw Courtney experience.
Yeah.
um, be mindful of the company that you keep, child. The ick to
Mm-hmm.
that is living with the crazies. You
Mm-hmm.
really gotta we is not doing that ever again. So if that
Mm-hmm.
means you gotta run a background check, if that means you gotta do a worldwide search on the FBI most wanted list, please do it.
Mm-hmm.
Please. Because when I tell you the crazies was out,
Crazies are out.
that he's out here, and they is ready to find somebody gullible enough to deal with him. So that's my ick and stick on that.
I agree 1,000% with that ick. Oh yeah, absolutely. I 100% believe in that. Yeah. I mean, you kind of said it like it's like after watching me witness things. Not that I would consider myself gullible, but I will say though that oftentimes that was another situation where I thought, okay, well, this is a situation I need to be in order to live where I want to live, right, and like have the career I want to have. I didn't have to do that. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
that would have been reliving. That was me following suggestions from other people, to be honest. Um, Obviously, things work out what they work out eventually down the line, but I agree that sometimes doing what other people tell you to do leads you right into the problem. Okay. We'll say that. So
I mean, I think that depends on the situation, but
depends. I mean, let's not lose the fact that yeah, it be the crazies out here. There are the crazies, and having a sense of discernment is what really can help protect you from that. But when you do find out you're interacting with crazies or some people who just don't have the same moral, ethical, ideological compass as you got to get out as quickly as humanly possible. It's like, they say like the quicker you help a stroke victim, the easier it is for the recovery or like less damage is done. Same thing. You know what I mean? Yeah.
so yeah, that just be mindful of the company that you keep, and especially living with, because Jesus,
Mm-hmm. But
living
it's
is
so
like hanging out is definitely different from living. So
from living. Oh yeah, absolutely. I will also say that it's so crazy that that was like the top of this year and like the end of this year. Like some of the people like I've met recently have been so like night and day. So constantly reminded that as time moves on, things typically improve. Not, you know what I mean? Like you go
yeah,
through something, and then once you stick to your guns, get through it, do the work to get through it, there's something better on the end.
very true.
I don't know. My life has always worked out that way. It's always something better at the end when you stick with it. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Um. Yeah. Okay. So, anything else for that stick specifically?
Man,
Okay. So my other stick, I would say, um, hmm, what's another stick? I think Caitlyn. I mean, Caitlyn said peace earlier, having peace, but I think my stick has been, and it probably will continue to be, um, taking the necessary time to, um, take a break from others if you need it. You know what I mean? Like, and Caitlin always
that's a
says
good
protect your
one.
peace. Like protecting your peace is
Mm-hmm.
what I just didn't want to use the word peace again because you used it. But like,
Got it.
if it becomes necessary, really cutting people off or
Yeah,
um,
withdrawing, like however you want to look
withdrawing.
at it. Sometimes it's not a permanent just cut off, but
Yeah, just like
just taking a step back.
taking a step back and really just saying like taking into account assessing things for yourselves so that like
Mm-hmm.
if you ever do come back and decide to like establish new boundaries, new relationship, you come fortified already processing your own whatever. You're not coming back just out of this like emotion. I don't want to say emotional, but you're not coming back into this very like high emotional space. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
or
I agree
even
with that one.
I don't
That's a
want
good
to just
one.
say it's just emotion, but like high irrationals. But you're not just it's not high. The stakes aren't super high. You're coming in a
Hmm.
very different, more peaceful way. You know.
Yeah, no, and I think part of that, which would be my next stick, what I'm going to include in this commentary of just like constantly being in a state of healing. Because when you work on, say, you remove yourself from said person or whatever, you're allowed to, see what you like and don't like, and kind of like evolve without them. So if they do re-enter or they don't re-enter, then it's for typically for the better. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Um, and so actively doing the work while they're not in your life, or while you're taking a break from said person, can really do a solid.
Hmm. Absolutely. That's something I learned. Well, I mean, I guess I had known it before, but I think, um, I guess this is the first time I've done it in a major way where there really was just no. Uh, it was just I need to figure out stuff for myself. You know what I mean? And there was no tie there,
Yeah. Yeah.
physical, mental, emotional. It was like no need or circumstance that would have put me in a position to interact. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh. Hmm.
So
Okay.
yeah, that's what I would say. That's something I want to stick. At least having that skill. Not saying that you need to like go and just go systemically go through your life and cut random people off. I'm not saying that, but like having that skill to say, you know what, I need to step away. Know when you need to step away, and know how
Discernment.
to handle it. Yeah, another it's like another form of discernment. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So that's what I think. That's definitely sticking with me.
Good
You got
one.
another stick?
So yeah, my stick was, which I added this to yours, is kind of like actually doing the work to heal. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but in to continue that, I would say it's a lot easier to just go ahead and do the work, and it makes it easier just like further down the line to just be in a state of constantly evolving, healing, talking through things, examining things, whatever it is, really, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I think it always makes for the better, for, just, which I guess you have to like truly experience it and experience the benefit of it, even though the initial startup process of it can be very difficult. It is super rewarding. So highly, highly, highly recommend. And I will be doing that in 2023 for the rest of my life, honestly. So
Exactly. Yeah. This has been just such a transitional year. I don't know. I'm like I would actually venture to say this has been one of the hardest years of my adult life. I'm not joking. Like when I'm sure I'm gonna have other years because I don't know what's ahead. But
mhm.
so far, this has been one of the hardest years of my adult life.
Really
I think so. I'm saying my adult life, so I'm 18 plus. I
interesting.
mean, there was just first off major transitions. Number one, okay, major transitions, but then the issues that arose because of that major transition. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And then having to really be like on my own. You know?
true. I think that was a huge transition because I've also lived on my own for quite a bit now. And
Hmm.
so that will catapult you into
Exactly.
a lot of things. So
Yeah. So, yep. You got any other sticks or icks you want to mention before we head into
um,
2023?
let me think. it's just kind of like a general statement, I guess you could say. It's not really a stick or an ick, but my this whole crypto thing is really like, ugh,
Stress
just
you
kind of
out.
low key. Because okay, so part of me like doesn't really understand it fully, so there's that. But then you also have like um that part of it that recently just kind of like completely crumbled, and they're like it's fraud. Um, and then you have the other one where they're trying to do the digital currency banks or whatever. So it's like,
Mm-hmm.
they're also part of it also is the media. The media, controls a lot of what your understanding is unless you do your own research. But crypto is a
Mm-hmm.
very um, complicated thing. I personally think, and especially when it comes to like people's money and finances, when resources these days are limited for the majority, I would venture to say. Nobody's just throwing money out there for just anything. If you want to be educated in the financial decisions that you are making, obviously that means, in certain people's households taking a level of a risk, but you still have to maintain, day to day life too. So, um, but it's just like, it's just such a roller coaster with crypto. So,
Mm. Yeah, I don't really understand crypto, I'm gonna be honest. And I don't understand how it's somehow more secure. Because I
yeah,
feel
that's what I
like
don't understand either. I don't understand the
I don't
security.
feel like that could be more secure than like physical
Yeah.
dollars.
Or
I
something
just
physically backing it up. Like if it's
physically backing it up.
tangible, then you have the physical equivalent to that. But the problem is that not saying that gold isn't readily available, because I think it is not readily available, but I think that they do have a surplus of gold or could find a surplus of gold. It's
Hmm.
just, I think it's just a way crypto provides, or the digital currency bank specifically, would provide more control over money. Like it would they would just have more control on your over your money, like when you could spend it, how you can spend it, you know. So I think
Exactly.
that is the luxury for that to be implemented, as far as like an institution, as far as like a government is concerned.
Yeah. I feel like my real issue with crypto is like, okay, so it really sort of doesn't exist, right? Like there's really no, it's like exchanging value digitally, right? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I just feel like, is that not the same issue we ran into with like when they removed the gold standard for the dollar, where this is no longer backed by gold, it's backed by debt essentially.
Mm-hmm.
So is crypto not doing the same thing? We're not even, we're like, they're removing money altogether and it's like backed by what?
And that's what I don't understand. Like, I think
Me
there
either.
is, which, because like, okay, so I want to say is backed by the possible, like the current currency that we would have, right? But if the
Mhm.
value of the dollar is already going to garbage, then how is it back? Or
I
maybe that's what
agree.
they're trying to figure out, like what is going to back the digital currency.
Exactly. I don't know. Cause like, I mean, we're really on a credit system now. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Whereas like
Mm-hmm.
we are we essentially, in order to, we like leverage credit to support our financial endeavors, right?
Mm-hmm.
But again, that system is proving to have many other factors, like when inflation goes up, then what, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like so
Mm-hmm.
many issues affect it. But yeah, but with crypto, I just see crypto exacerbating that even further. I don't see it fixing it. You know what I mean? Like I just don't see it. To me, it feels like making, it feels like, okay, maybe we're not printing more money. So maybe we're not printing more money, but we're just going to like make up a new way to exchange money essentially. You know what I mean? Feels fake.
Yeah.
I would have to have it really explained to me in order for me to like buy into it. But I mean, people are doing it.
I don't know. It's so confusing. Like I've been trying to do like research on it and stuff to like educate myself on it and stuff. And it's just so convoluted and there's so many like there's so many different ones, I guess.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't really discern, to be perfectly honest. It's very confusing.
I couldn't tell you. So I just, it's not really an ick or a stick, but it's just like, ugh, I just don't know. And
It's
it's like,
leaning more towards ick for me.
educated on it. I really would love to know what's going on, but
I agree.
my brain, which I'm very like a tangible person anyway, so it's like hard for me to wrap my brain around anything that is like in outer space that doesn't really exist.
I agree. Because I'm just like, the internet, it's not that the internet does exist, it's a place, but it's like, it's the internet, it's ubiquitous, it's everywhere. You know?
On top of like, the internet is just not the safest place. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like the internet is
Somebody can hack into it.
Yeah, yeah. Somebody can hack into it, and like we all know that like the internet is just not a safe place. Anything you do not want people to know, you obviously don't put on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
So why would I go put my money on the internet?
Or basically having our money like exchange.
Yeah.
Like our exchange, the way we exchange money to be only on the internet. I don't know.
Yeah, that would be the only version. Which I think like people, if that is the case, a lot of people, especially like older folks and whatnot, would go back to basic like bartering and trading. Which honestly, I would be fine with that. I would enjoy that.
You think so?
Because I don't think they. Because I mean, if they're having basic struggles with.
Go ahead.
If they're having basic struggles of like just working and typing on a computer, what are they going to do with crypto?
No, I hear that. I'm talking about going back to bartering. Like, okay, so say you need a new laptop.
What other choice?
How many apples you gonna get for a laptop?
Well, I mean, I think that would take them out of a level of a market, but it would be coming down to for them like bare minimum. Like, I feel like they would enjoy going back to a time where they didn't have computers in the first place.
Probably, but then again, think about how computers save their lives too.
I mean, yeah, it saved their lives, but it saved their lives for that moment, and they go right back to not using a computer.
Yes, for frivolous things, but if they didn't have phones, for example, a computer.
A phone is very different than a computer.
But an iPhone technically has the same like technology.
Sure. But are they really using a phone for all of that? Or is it just a phone?
I don't know. I'm not gonna say what grandma's doing on her phone.
Well, yeah, I guess I can say that. We won't speak for
And
Granny.
also, I will also say that the older folks I hung around, first off, they use their phones a pretty good bit.
Really?
When my writing group, they use their phones a pretty good bit. I did have to suggest a texting group though, because they were still emailing.
Uh-huh.
But they write only on computers. So like I think they use it, they might not use it in the same way, like they probably don't have TikTok and Instagram and Facebook and all that. But like they use computers for like word processing or tasks. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Probably like online shopping, stuff like that. I think they don't be on social media like we do.
Yeah, but I feel like if like in that case, if they're writers, they are obviously they have to write, right? Okay, so that's a specific maybe hobby, career choice that yields the need for technology, right? But in things that are like day-to-day things, for like, I feel like most grandmas are not doing all of that.
You're right.
They're just not doing all of that. I think there's just like some people I think are just genuinely interested in it. Okay, cool. There's some people that have to use it for work and things like that. Okay, cool. That may limit them to just the work aspect of it, but you know, they have a general understanding. And then there's people who have hobbies that are kind of centered around technology. But for a majority, I would say like our mom, for example. The phone, sure, she knows how to scroll on Facebook, but you really think she knows how to do crypto?
Yeah.
And crypto is so complex that like I don't. There's like a huge market of individuals that I really don't think would understand it.
I agree. I mean, we're young and we don't understand
and we
it.
don't understand it. So I'm only 26.
Exactly, yeah. No, I definitely think it would be a major learning curve, and I think they would have to, if they really plan on making it public or available to the public, it would have to be something that would be, I'm not gonna say dumbed down, but like very user friendly, very user friendly. I'll say that.
If you have any other icks or sticks,
so my last ick is, I just realized I forgot this happened, but the Uvalde, Texas school shooting that happened this year, major ick. Which it seems like we have this issue every year. There's some major mass shooting at some school, or just in a community. But yeah, those mass shootings, the mass shootings that have happened this year, major ick because of senseless violence. And let's not act like we don't know exactly who's doing this. It's very much right wing extremists, intel type young men, young white men doing this. So that's a major ick that needs to be addressed. And I mean, I don't even know what else you really can say besides just ick. You know.
No, truly, because there's a lot of like innocent lives being lost behind senselessness. So,
and like
it truly is
behind male anger, which we all know is dangerous just in personal life, but like when it comes out as these like aimless, senseless mass shootings, it's like it becomes society's problem yet again. You know what I mean? And it just seems like society is doing nothing to address this type of individual, which I think the reason they don't address that type of individual is because they don't want to address themselves. That's what I really think.
I can see that.
Because that type of individual is born and bred out of a certain culture, correct?
I don't know about that.
I think it is.
I can't say
I very
for
much
sure.
think it is. I mean, we all can identify, okay, this a school shooter type. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think that can be bred out of different things. That could be bred out of trauma. That could be mommy issues, daddy issues.
Yeah, that's true too. But it also,
who am I?
They also exist in a culture where it's not okay. So you have that trauma, and then for these young men, where's the one place they feel like it is safe to express that? They have at least gotten the message that violence is a way to express it. I'm hurting, so you all have to hurt.
Yeah, I mean, I hear that, but, and this is not to excuse the actions of anybody that's trying to or have participated in such an act. But I just think it's not that clear cut and dry. That's what I'm saying.
I agree. I don't think it's just like I don't think it's totally clear cut and dry, but I think there's a pattern. And I think that's
I
undeniable at
guess
this
so.
point.
Nah, yeah, I think at this point that's probably we know what we're looking for when this happens. Unfortunately,
Exactly. Truth be told, when you if there's a mass shooting being carried out, you're probably looking for a youngish male, if not white, white passing, angry, unhinged looking, probably wearing khakis or
well,
some sort of like armor clothing, like right wing. You know what I mean? And then the other thing too is a lot of times when they're investigating the people who, they end up booking obviously for the shootings, a lot of times they find that the person had previously posted things online saying radical right wing extremist things, right? So it's like this person had been building up to this. It's like I think it's more of a person. It's a like ideological personality core character type than people are giving credit for.
that's true.
Yeah. They're not just lone like this one weirdo. What it's like, well, why we got a weirdo here and a weirdo there and a weirdo there and a weirdo like you know what I'm saying? It's like same types. So yeah, major ick. Anything else you want to say for the 2022?
I think that's it. Hopefully, Happy New Year's to everyone. Even though we're dropping this
Yeah.
today early, Happy New Year's. We hope that you have a safe, fun night full of events. And
Mm-hmm.
we look forward to seeing you guys in the new year. We hope that you guys are excited to see what we have coming in the new year as well, because at some point, once we hit 1 year officially, we're gonna make some little switcheroos as well. So definitely make sure to stay tuned for that coming down the pipeline. And yeah, this year or 2022 has been interesting, but I'm excited for the growth and the things that I have learned throughout this year. So we hope that you are just as excited and learned a lot during this year and have grown a lot during this year. And we take a lot of those new things into 2022 that are, beneficial, but leave behind those things that are not beneficial. So,
Agreed. Sayonara to 2022.
and we
You ain't
don't need to
gotta
see
go
this year ever
home,
again.
but you gotta get the up out of
Out of
here.
here, period.
Seriously.
No, seriously, because 2022 was interesting.
It was interesting. That's really all I can say about it. Interesting, transitional.
Yeah. Ugh.
Yeah. And honestly, we don't have to repeat it.
At
Nothing
all.
about
Ever.
2022 gotta go into, well, some of the things about 2022 gotta go into 2023.
A few
But
minor things.
a few minor things, you know, but some of it honestly, actually I'm not even gonna lie. For me, top of 2022 before July, really that all can just go. All of it can just really go. Not
I
joking.
don't know, because those
Um,
were learning lessons. So,
I mean, they were learning lessons. They were. It don't ever, I don't, that's a lesson we're going to close the book on, though. We very much going to close the book. Hard close, don't pick it up.
gotta go.
Gotta go. No revisits on that one. Pass the test.
That's funny.
That's what matters.
Do not need to repeat.
Seriously. But yeah, I hope you guys have a great New Year's Eve. Party it up, have fun. I'm gonna probably end up watching, Rockin' New Year's Eve per usual.
Oh, God.
And
Boring.
you don't watch that?
Mm-mm.
I love it. I never do anything on New Year's. Do you ever do
So
anything on New Year's?
unfortunate. No,
What do
I
you
don't do
do?
anything either.
I'm gonna say, what do you do?
I don't even watch the ball drop or anything. I just be asleep. Like, it's
Oh
another day.
no, I'm
Another day,
notorious for
another dollar.
seriously. I'm notorious for staying up um until like 12 o'clock or not 12. till like 11:50, and then being like, okay, gonna watch a ball drop. And I kid you not, 2 minutes before I'm out.
Honestly, yeah,
like notorious for that.
My bedtime is 9 o'clock. That will be staying in 2023. 9 o'clock bedtimes. Period.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I hear that. Sleep is essential to your health and well-being. I'm telling you.
Seriously.
Whew. But anyway, well, we've enjoyed doing the podcast this year, and we're looking forward to doing it in 2023. All right, we'll see you guys next year. I love that corny guys.
Happy New Year. Sayonara.
All right, we'll see you in the next one. Bye, everybody.